All right, I'm finally done with the 3 lambs that I took right here on the property just a couple weeks ago. I wanted to run over some numbers and how much I got and how much time it took me to get there, basically. So these are 3 10-month-old ram uncastrated Katahdin lambs, 100% grass-fed. They basically never left the property. I did everything right here on this table that they're sitting on while I sat here and watched hours and hours of movies. And I'm pretty happy with it. It really tastes very, very good. So right off the bat, I got 92 pounds total off of 3 lambs, which isn't too bad. You consider each one weighed about 80 to 90 pounds, give or take. You consider also that 46 pounds of it, all of this right here is 46 pounds, is just grind, which is obviously boneless, which is going to make your ratio a little bit lower. But I got about a 40% yield, which is about what you would expect. So I ended up getting 4 jars of this really nice tallow. I mean, look how white that stuff is. Basically, the night I did all my grind, I boiled down all the fat and strained it off, and I got some really nice tallow. This is obviously bones for the dog, because Iris, my dog, really likes to chew on the bones. And both of these were also not included into the 92 pounds. But I wanted to also go over some rough numbers on how much time it took me, because that was a little bit surprising. This is my first time doing it. I have done this to a deer once, but other than that, I just watched a lot of YouTube videos. And I was trying a lot of different cuts. For instance, I've got some French riblets here. I decided to try to French a whole rack of ribs here. And, you know, I tried some sirloins, and I've got some, you know, T-bone, little mini T-bones here. These are basically loin chops. They're selling these things for $17.50 a pound at Walmart. And that's not even for grass-fed stuff. That's just stuff that has no hormones or anything like that. So my sheep were on a rotational grazing situation, and I'm nowhere near my stocking density. So they were basically getting all the fresh grass they wanted all year round. And I'm really happy to see the amount of fat that was on some of them. And even after I trimmed it all off, I was still able to get the 3 jars of tallow. So I was pretty happy with that. But the numbers were a little different when it goes to time. It was about the amount of work I was expecting, but it was very time consuming. I would say I spent about 2 hours total on each lamb just for the slaughter. And that may seem high, but that's setup time, that's cleanup time. You have to do the deed, and then you have to skin it, then you have to gut it, then you have to get rid of the guts and all this stuff. And that obviously takes a good amount of time. So that's 6 hours right there. I went ahead and I didn't really quarter it. I basically cut the animal into thirds. I basically kept the neck and front shoulders as one. I kept the ribs to the loin as one, and then basically the rump and all the back leg I kept as one. And I put it in cooler on ice. Some of it was in there for as many as 10 days on ice to wet age it, and then I came back in for the butcher. So 4.5 hours was just trimming all the front shoulder areas, all for grind. That's why I have so much grind. The neck and both on all 6 shoulders along with the front rib section all became grind. So that's one reason why that took so much time, just getting all the meat off of it, and I was really getting the meat off of it. So another 4.5 hours was just on the rib and loin section, and most of that was because I was trying all this other, you know, different cuts like this French rack, and doing these riblets, and I've got these loins here. And keep in mind, I'm doing all this with a handsaw, and that's basically it. I don't have a bandsaw, so that's why that was so time consuming. And then you got to count another 4 hours basically just for the back section. I did keep 2 legs, 2 whole Frenched lamb rear legs. And then I was also able to get some sirloins. Basically, they're boneless sirloins off the rumps, off one of them. And then any good meat I got off the legs that was nice and lean, I turned into like a, well, this is stir fry, so this is a little bit fattier than the actual stew meat that I have. I did get one of these leg fillets out. This is apparently supposed to be like the filet mignon from a lamb. It's like an inner muscle that doesn't get used much apparently. I cut some of the back straps into chunks, and I kept some of the back straps whole. So basically, if you were to go to the store and buy a pork tenderloin, this is what you would be buying, but it's a lamb tenderloin, and this is both sides of it here. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I got. I also kept all 3 hearts. These are lamb hearts. I'll be eating those. And I have all of the testicles. Like I said, they were uncastrated. So these are little lamb Rocky Mountain oysters I plan on trying. None of it goes to waste, huh? So there's that. So total, what you're looking at is 23 hours for me to get what I have right here. 23 hours. That's about 7 hours a piece. That's not too bad, I don't think. Considering it was my first time, it's going to go a lot faster next year. Sorry. The other thing I didn't add was the 4 hours of the, it took me just to grind this up. That's part of the 23. It took me 4 hours one night just to grind and vacuum seal all of this grind. I went through a coarse and then a fine grind, really mixed in the fat really well. I didn't add any fat. This is all lamb. Yeah, I mean, it's really good. The fine grind really mixed in the fat with it. If I had to take a guess, I have cooked some of it, and it's really good. I'd say it's like maybe an 85-15 ratio. So yeah, I plan on, you can basically do anything you want with that. But yeah, that's what I got, and I'm looking very forward to eating it all.